Bonjour mes amis, comment ça va aujourd'hui? Aujourd'hui means day. So I said, hello my friends, how are you today? Yes, this is the real Tish. It's the real Tish. You are in Daring to Dare, Chapter 2, Keeping Up with Tish, Part 8. Wow, Part 8 already. Yes, I have my glasses on. Anyway, I want to tell you a story about. This is my bell. This is an old, very old bell, 100 years old. Anyway, I want to tell you a story about a church down the street from where we lived in North Wales, Pennsylvania. And I can't remember the denomination, but I wanted to go to a church, and that was within walking distance. So actually, my mother went with me to talk to the pastor about joining the church, And he said, fine, come to the services, and we're happy to have you. And he seemed very nice, so I was excited. I really was excited because I had gone to church, 12 years at least when I lived in East Falls, and I felt like I wanted to go back again. So we went home, and my mother was happy, I guess, although I don't think she was going to go to church. Every once in a while she would go, but it was very rare. Anyway, we found out, a neighbor told my mother that this church was asking around and trying to get information on us. And I was 16 years old. I remember this clearly. This really was astonishing. They were investigating our family. One day, the minister rang the doorbell and came in. I invited him in the house, and he was real happy. Yes, you're a member. And I said to him, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be a member of your church. So his wonderful smile changed to this. He was astonished, I guess. He couldn't figure out why. And I said, I found out that you're investigating my family. I said, I've never heard of a church investigating anybody. I said, the church is for sinners. We're all sinners. Do you know that pastor didn't say a word? He turned around and went out that door. And I didn't go to another church for several years after that. I was so upset about that. I've never heard of a church investigating their members. Boy, if you know one, I want to hear about it, because that is not right. Several times in my life, I've seen things that pastors have done, ministers, that I didn't think was right. And I told them how I felt, respectfully, but I told them how I felt about whatever it was that they were doing that I didn't think was proper. That's you'll learn that I speak my mind. Anyway, that was an experience. One day, of course, I had curlers in my hair. That was the day when everybody had set their hair with curlers. And all of a sudden, I heard this commotion outside. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah. Bells were ringing. Not exactly. But anyway, I looked out. Oh my gosh. My brother is on the ground, face down, and this guy, I didn't even recognize him, is banging my brother's head on the concrete. I was out that door in a flash. And I saw that he had an entourage. I have to stay away from this bell. I didn't realize I would create such a motion. Anyway, oh my gosh, I was out in a flash. I couldn't get out there fast enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because my brother had just got his braces on. And this kid, bang, bang, bang. I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to encourage my brother. Get up, Bill, turn around, do something, and of course, I don't know that was how he got control of the situation, but he eventually did get control of this situation. And I'm like, what happened? I don't even know this kid. Who are these kids? There was 3 girls. One was a toughie, I could tell right off. One was a toughie. And she's saying things, and I realized my mother did come out of the house. But she didn't come down. She was encouraging my brother, but right outside the front door. I ran right down into the commotion. And finally, this girl started coming up on the lawn. And my mother did come about 1/4 of the lawn. She was getting a little closer, physically a little closer. And this girl, there was words between this girl and Elmira, and I saw this girl coming up to my mother, and she was getting way too close. And I'm yelling at her, my mother's yelling at her, and I realized that she was going to come up against my mother. I don't know, she looked like she was going to, hit my mother. That's the sense that I got out of the situation. So, of course, what do? Pew! I'm right between them. I stepped right in front of my mother, and I started hitting. I knew in my heart, just keep hitting. Don't stop. This girl will kill you. I'm hitting, bang, 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 bang. I'm not looking. I don't know. I'm just banging, 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 boom, boom, boom. I didn't stop until all of a sudden, oh my gosh, there's nothing here. I opened my eyes and, oh boy, I opened my eyes and she's saying, you're much older than me. And I said, and you're double my size. Anyway, long story short, at this point, curlers are out of my hair. They're all over the front lawn. A neighbor comes down and says, this is deplorable. I'm calling the police. Why haven't you stopped it? We can't stop it. This guy attacked my brother and he's defending himself. Anyway, she does call the police. Of course, the police arrive after the fight and they got the information of who this kid was. And here, what happened was Frizzle, that was his last name. He lived down the street. I don't know what it was, because I never really asked my brother. But Frizzle and my brother just didn't hit it off. Really don't know why, but I know, oh boy, I'm so sorry. I apologize for this. I need to stay away. Anyway, we found out at the end of the fight that Frizzle, who went to another school, I believe it was a Catholic school, because we went to public schools, and got the toughest kid in St. Stanislaus to come down and beat the crap out of my brother. And when I realized this, I started walking towards Frizzle, and I said, you ever pull anything like this again? I said, I'm going to set my brother right on you, and he's going to bang your head and bang your head and bang your head on the concrete. And at this point, he's backing up and fast, and he starts, almost a little like a trot home. But I told him, I went right up to him and I told him, now, My mother did not. She was in the background. Even when the police came, I'm doing all the talking, telling the police officer what happened, and, I finally discovered that my mother was hell. I mean, she was hell on the phone. There was something not right. Whoop, she was on that phone. But in person, to actually come up to a person outside the house and have an argument with them, she didn't want to do it. So I realized, I've never seen my mother do that. Cower in like a physical fight, even though it was her son. And I realized my mother did not want to address anybody outside of the house. Hell on the phone. But I never really, even after that, I never saw her have an argument with anybody outside of the home. She was fine on the phone, but anyway, if you like my story, please subscribe. Give me some comments, thumbs up. Boy, I would love to be a favorite. Gonna keep telling my story. There's a lot more to come, and I appreciate you watching. Au revoir.